What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. So we got another update. As we know, season February 22nd is on like Donkey Kong, folks. The greatest card of all time, no doubt about it. Maximus Danelius Dubois, aka the Prophet Maximus, who showed us there is a way to come back. That's what he did. And I'm hearing now Ben Whittaker is looking to get with Papa, what's his name again? Stan Dubois. He needs Stan Dubois in his life, man. That's what Ben Whittaker needs. He needs Stan Dubois in his life. Stop hanging around the women, man. You know, I'll tell you for free, I don't even know Ben like that. You know he hanging with a bunch of women. That's for sure. Stanny D. Stan Dubois will sort him right out. Anyway, on to the point. Maximus Danelius has come out. Bash! And these are his thoughts on the fight. He's cutting straight through. Oh, listen, I like Joseph Parker. Fair play to him for what he's done. He's getting chewed up and spat out. I'm telling you now. This could be real bad for him. If you're having problems with Dillian White, you'll forget. Come on now, people. He went life and death with Dillian White. Life and Dillian White ain't got pressure like that. Dillian White can't punch like that. Dillian White ain't got cardio like that. He was goosed as well. Dillian White gassing, man, because he's soft. Yeah, Dillian's got about 40 pounds of softness on him. Slow as molasses, essentially. Anyway, here are the bars from Dubois.
We've got his first reaction to the news that he goes in against Joseph Parker in Riyadh on February the 22nd.
Really excited and ready to go. I'm glad I've got an opponent now and I'm just out ready to seek and destroy and go to work again. It's been talked about for a while, so, I'm finally glad to get it on and get in the ring and, show the people that I'm the real deal.
What do you think of Parker? What do you think you've got to do on the night to get a win?
I think I've got to just go right through and be better at everything, better in every department, in every department, speed, youth, energy, power, everything. I've got to bring it. He's a experienced veteran of the game, so I've got to just essentially just break him down and, finish him off.
Daniel, are you disappointed you're not getting in against Joshua again?
To me, as a fighter, I would have liked to get it on or what and get a final conclusion to that, but
Danny D, what Danny D's saying is he wouldn't have minded another go on AJ. Yeah, Danny D just said, AJ, I'd love another go on you. Yeah, there's dudes who fly out to Thailand for the Nans. There's dudes who fly out to Thailand for the Nans, yeah, who aren't as excited about having a go on something as Daniel Dubois would be, or is, to have another go on it. He wants another go on you, man. Yeah, Danny D told AJ, listen AJ, I know you're on holiday now, but I'll fly you back in. That's what he said. I'll finance the PJ. I'll put you on a private jet, no problem. Fly you in. Take it. That's what he said. You heard the bars. I ain't making it up. Stop playing.
I'm just really happy to be out again and defend this belt, and I'm sure that might happen down the line. Who knows? So, yeah, I'm just ready to go.
How's your work going in the gym? Are you as motivated as ever?
So certainly, I'm more motivated now. Now that I'm the champion and all of that. I feel like I'm just stepping up a level and getting better in every way. Every day, I'm getting better.
What would your message be to Joseph Parker then ahead of this?
Let's get it on. Let's go. It's about time now. Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
Daniel Dubois speaking to me just more.
So you heard there from Danny D. He's still young. He's never been the biggest talker. To be fair, he does more talking than AJ does, especially recently. On his rebuild from the Usyk fight, he's getting better at it for sure. What I would have liked a bit more. Listen, you see you plumber from the Antipodeans, or something like that, some next thing, from down there, from down under. Yeah, you're right, that's why I'm going to send you back. You're going to get sent back down under. I'm punching you back there. Don't worry about, YB, we need to book Joseph Parker's flight back. You don't need a flight. I'll knock you there. Yeah, bad. Whoop. Supersonic speed. Hypersonic, I'll put your ass on. 100%. Straight back to New Zealand where you come from. That's the bars he should have said. Put me on, man. Cheap. I'll send you some bars. I'll send you some Instagram DM and give you the bars to say, man. He's getting punched back down under where he come from. That's what's happened to him. And I believe that. I'm sorry, folks. I've been doing some research recently. Obviously, I think I put 50 quid already on Dubois or something like that yesterday. I watched Parker fight a few fights. And look at his resume here. Listen, I've said before, I give Parker a lot of credit. He doesn't give me a hard on watching him box. Joseph, I can't even spell. Parker box rec. He doesn't give me a hard on watching him box, but we have to salute him. None of us thought. You can sit there and say you knew, but you didn't know. You didn't know. Unless you put the bets in, you didn't know. Yeah, Parker was a massive underdog in both fights, and he pulled it off by hook or by crook, if that makes sense. The Zhang fight, Zhang's just got no gas, man. He was finished after about 7 rounds, and he got that second knockdown was a bit somewhat lucky. It was more of like it clubbed him. Parker was dipping, and he was half falling over anyway, and he clubbed him on the back of the head, and Parker just stayed on his knees. He wasn't actually like jelly-legged. Anyway, like I said, I've been doing some research into Parker. And it's hard to really say because he is clearly in a new stage of his career. But I also like to believe Parker hasn't really been put under a lot of hand pressure. Zhang was doing a lot of posturing. Yeah, he's got quick hands. But he wasn't putting Parker under hand pressure. Hand pressure is when you're not just standing there like Zhang was doing most of the time. Hand pressure is when you've got a dude sparking in front of you, pressing you with his feet and his hands are going. Very hard, and that's what happened in Dillian White fight. In a Dillian White fight, Parker, exactly that. Dillian's nowhere near the level of Dubois. Dillian was applying pressure, slapping away, swinging away, and Parker got drained. And that was a close fight, but that's Dillian White, man. You can't punch like that. Come on now. Who's Dillian White? Dillian White got knocked down by Rivas, a cruiserweight, who ain't even all that. He got knocked down by him and was boxing politically. So Dillian's not Dubois. He doesn't have. I can't think of one thing Dillian White has. Is he more slick than Dubois? Maybe. What's that good for? Heavyweight boxing. Almost good for nothing, in my opinion. If it was good for something, he'd have done something with Tyson Fury. He did nothing in there. Just fanning around, wasn't he? He wasn't even getting at it with him, trying to put it on him and risk it all. Oh, YB. In the last round, he came out and with his chin in the air and got clipped. Okay, well, Danny Dubois is different level, people. And Parker went life and death with him. What year was that in? Parker went life and death with Dillian White. That was a while ago, 6 years ago. We've then got this. I watched Chisora 1 back. Parker did his thing in Chisora 2, but in Chisora 1, which many people believed it could have gone either way. In fact, one judge had Chisora winning. Again, the same. Both fights Joseph Parker's lost or won closely are the Chisora fight and the Dillian White fight. Both of them, Chisora's coming straight. Chisora knocked him down in the first round. And that's one thing I am confident about. Joseph Parker's chin is solid. Chisora put him down. Dillian White put him down. AJ was in there faffing around with Parker. And Parker's butt was twitching. So they didn't really get into exchanges. I'm telling you now, Dubois is going to be all over him. And if, in my opinion, if Chisora can put you down, you ain't got a prayer. You ain't got a prayer. There's no doubt. If Hrgovic couldn't keep Dubois off and break his spirit, Parker's got no chance. Parker's very quick though, but for all that quickness and that, he couldn't do nothing with Chisora in that sense. He knocked him down a few times, to be fair, in the second fight, but he couldn't finish Chisora. He couldn't finish Dillian White. There's a whole bag of dudes in here. He couldn't finish Wilder. He couldn't finish Zhang. So it's like there's something missing here. And Zhang was gassed. That's why he couldn't exchange. And Wilder's finished. So yeah. The only risk here is that, in my mind, the only way Dubois loses this fight is if he's somehow reverted and gone Hollywood, which is possible. It is possible. It's not my base case though. I think Stan Dubois has got this guy's number now. He knows exactly how to keep this guy dialed in. Stan Dubois, as much as he may have been involved in the back scenes, I think at one point he said, I don't even think he watched the fights or something. He kind of left it all to the boxing trainers. He's now come into a prominent role in that camp. And since that's happened, we've seen night and day. I just don't believe. Obviously, every man has his own choice to make. Dan Dubois could be there and Daniel still lose his head, but it's unlikely at this point. Obviously, we can take words with a pinch of salt, but Danny D already told you, I'm hungrier than ever. Yeah? And it can go two ways. Victory is addictive, which makes you want to do it more, but it also builds complacency. You think, well, I've just punched AJ's head off, I've just punched Hrgovic's head off, punched up Jerome Miller. So it's a careful balance. That said, Stanny D, yeah, he will show Dubois the way, and he will show us the way to more coins, plentiful coins. That's what he's going to do. There's no way. Not Parker's not going to be the guy. Listen, if you put Dubois in there with Piccoli, I mean, I'll still back Dubois, to be honest. But I think about that fight. It's like if you're gonna revert back to type in any fight, it'll probably be Piccoli. There's no way Usyk's gonna turn Dubois off again. I don't believe. No way. Usyk won't land as many right hands or backhands as Hrgovic did. And even if he did, Dubois went straight through them. So it'll be someone like Piccoli who can really whack, and he's even... Dubois is bigger than all the other heavyweights, if that makes sense. He's 6 foot, 3 or 4, bone dry lean, 250. He's not soft like Dillian White, 250. Bone dry lean. So it takes someone, even Piccoli. Piccoli's 280 now or whatever, but that's 280 soft. He's actually, Piccoli, when he looks in shape, listen, he's pulling it off well. He's probably the only big guy I've seen pull it off to that extent, with the power and the speed still there. So he pulls it off. But yeah, Danny D outside of Piccoli is the biggest heavyweight, and he's got gas for days, and he'll throw his hands for days. And it's the mindset. He's hungry for this, and I don't believe Parker's going to have what it takes. If you haven't got amazing ideas against Chisora, or amazing ideas against Dillian White, or amazing ideas against Joyce, I think the Joyce fight, Joyce is just a slower version. Not exactly, but you get the point. He's a slower version, a leakier version, and a less powerful punch-for-punch version than Dubois. If we look at Joe Joyce's prime and Dubois' prime, which is now, they're fair assessments to make. Dubois quicker, punches harder punch-for-punch. I wouldn't say Dubois' engine's as good at Joyce as good as Joyce's, but there's a trade-off there. Joyce has great cardio because he don't have no twitch. He's kind of like... If you're operating in the 80 percentile or 90 percentile of twitch, you're going to get tired. Fact. There's a reason Usain Bolt can't run like 800 metres or whatever. Too much twitch. Joe Joyce has like 50% twitch. And you got someone like Dubois, 70, 80% twitch. So Joyce was able to be consistent, but not inflict rapid damage. Dubois is going to go right in there. Parker is slick and quick though. Parker is slick. He's not going to be the... People are saying, oh, the AJ fight. He knocked AJ out he knocked him down in the first round or whatever. I don't think that will happen. It'll take some Parker will take some punishment in there. He'll take a proper whooping in there. And he'll get a few shots off. I don't believe he'll have enough, though, to turn off Dubois. But he's slick. It's actually an interesting fight. Some people were slagging it off, saying, oh, Parker's not exciting. This fight will be exciting. Yeah? Because there's no ring big enough for Dubois not to be right on top of him. Dubois is riding a crest right now. He's rock hard. Can a few counter punches turn him off? Again, Hrgovic was with that man. He did all that. Hrgovic had one of the best 5 rounds. And this is what I'll say about... We've all slagged off, or I've slagged off Mike Tyson before, saying he never come back from losing a fight. And this shows you really how great Dubois is. Yes, the old school man in general were harder than the new age guys. But Mike Tyson never took right hands for 5 rounds and looked like he was getting butchered and turned it round. He never did that. He was either whooping your ass or he was going... all of Mike's fights, curves were like that. Sloping downwards. Right? He'd never be like an ebb and a flow. He looks really bad. He's getting better. He'd start well and win, or start well and lose. There was no gritting through. So Dubois at this point has already done more than Mike Tyson, because them 5 rounds are some of the most dominant rounds I've watched. Yes, Dubois didn't get knocked down, and it wasn't necessarily stinging him. But big Hrgovic ain't a punk. Then Brian was raining down, was pinging him off. So if that couldn't discourage Dubois, I guess there's an argument of what's his name? Parker does punch. He can punch in 2 and 3s, but I'm not sure he's going to be punching with 2 and 3s when Danny D's in front of him, winging away. That will soon... It's okay to do that with Zhang. Why? You know Zhang's only going to throw 1 or 2, and then you can slip in or do whatever Joseph Parker was doing. And Zhang needs about a minute rest. That makes sense. Dubois is going to be all over him. You won't be able to get a look in edgeways. And I think as well, one aspect which is underrated of Dubois is his jab. Dubois is going to have the size advantage. Parker's quick with his feet and his hands though, but still, when that jab gets going, that is what bust up Parker in the what's his name? That is what bust Parker up in the Joe Joyce fight. Just bust him. And Dubois' jab, it might look, it's not as slow as Joe Joyce's, but look at how effective that was. Has Parker got better? He probably has. Now there is some rumours that Parker's gaining weight. Some dude was in my comments saying, Parker's gaining weight and he's going to be heavier. That's the worst thing Parker can do. Parker can't punch like that, man. Yeah? He can't punch like that. The worst thing Parker can do, well, the good thing for us, if Parker comes in heavy, that's what I believe Parker got stopped against Joyce. If Parker came in really heavy for that fight, let's have a look. I'm sure he did. Oh no, he weighed 255. Oh yeah, that was heavy. Parker weighed 255 against Joe Joyce, which at the time was the career heaviest. Fact. Parker weighed 255 against Joyce, and a year earlier, he weighed 241 against Chisora. So, and apparently the first Chisora fight was close. The second one, Parker got like 4 knockdowns, and he went up 10 pounds in weight. So I'm thinking Parker started thinking, the power's there now. He puts on even more weight to compete with Joe Joyce, and it goes left for him. There is definitely a relationship between how much dead weight you're putting on, this heaviness, and how much cardio you got. And how Parker wins this fight, if he's to win, it's not by, I can go punch for punch with Dubois. He needs to keep light, have gas for days, and be able to get off, get out, and somehow deter Dubois. If he comes in there, look at his recent fights. He was 247 against Zhang, 245 against Wilder. So that's where he needs to really come in 245. If he comes in 255, 260, it's a wrap. He's going to be goosed after the 7 rounds, and it's going to be heavy back session for Dubois. He's probably goosed anyway. If he comes in 240, he's going to be goosed. He's always going to be toast. Because Dubois is going to be all over him like he stole something. That's what he's going to do. All over him. Pop, pop. The jab like bash. The jab's too... It's like a right hand, the Romford Buller said. The Romford Buller said Danny D's jab is like a right hand, and I didn't really believe it or whatever. Who knows what people say. But even Joe Joyce is the juggernaut, right? And at the time, that was Joe Joyce's peak. Joe Joyce was losing on the scorecards, number 1, against Dubois. And number 2, Joyce, that's the first time I've seen Joyce on his skates, right? And at the time, that was Joe Joyce, can't be touched. He was on his P's and Q's. That's the only man I've seen Joe Joyce faffing around with. Joe Joyce started wading in with Zhang, right? To be fair to Joe Joyce in that first fight, he came straight at Zhang and took all them shots. He didn't do that with Dubois at any point. Oops. So Joe Parker's in for a whole world of trouble, and if he pulls it off, it'll be one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I won't be shocked, because I know the system's made to bump my money. Yeah? That's what this system's made, to dig your pocket, folks. I won't be surprised if some skullduggery takes place. Anyway, great fight. You see you plumber from New Zealand, you're getting it. You best believe it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.